Hello everyone, today we're gonna make the easy and simplified version of Kabsa rice or Bukhari rice. So let's get started. These are the ingredients we're gonna need. We're gonna need rice. I'm gonna use 3 cups of Indian rice, basmati. I shredded 2 carrots, and this is 1 large smallly diced tomatoes. Just try to cut it as small as you can. 2 large onions, also try to cut it as small as you can. 1 chicken. We're gonna need salt, oil, and I boiled 2 potatoes, pre-boiled. And the chicken we de-skinned it and cut it. So I cut the chicken into 8. You can cut it into 4 or into a half, like 2 halves, or whatever size you'd like. You can also use chicken breasts, but when you make rice, the best flavor actually comes from the chicken bones, which is weird, but it's true. So I prefer if you use a whole chicken and then just cut it into the size you want. If you're grossed out by chickens or whatever, you can use the chicken breast, it's fine. So let's get started. First of all, we're going to heat some oil, and then we're going to get sauteing on some of the onions. So let's go ahead. So we heated the pot. We're going to add oil, about just enough to cover the base. This might look like it's a lot, but it's not really a lot. This is enough for the 2 onions, to saute the 2 onions. Don't over oil anything. The food is just going to get all like greasy and stuff, and you want to make it as healthy as possible. So once the pan is heated, we're going to add the oil and saute the onions and the rest of the vegetables. So we're going to add the onions. We're going to give it a good brown color, and then we're going to add the carrots and the tomatoes. So just another 2-3 minutes on this, and then we're going to add the rest of the veggies. Okay, so a tip while making this is that the darker the onions get sauteed, the darker the color of the rice will be. So if you want the color of the rice to be light brown, no, not light brown, if you want it to be orange, light orange, then you lightly saute the onions. If you want it darker orange, then you just saute the onions more. So we lightly sauteed the onions. We just made them sweat. We're going to add the carrots, and we're going to add the tomatoes, and we're going to mix it, and we're going to wait until this becomes really soft before we add the chicken. So this is a minute into it. We won't cover this, but we're just going to wait until the carrots are nice and soft, and then we're going to add the chicken. As you can see, it's halfway soft. So this is nice and soft. Before we add the chicken, I'm actually going to add some salt. This is about this is about 1 teaspoon rock salt. I'm going to add 1.5. And the reason I'm putting the salt at this stage is because after we're going to brown the chicken, if it's in seasoned veggies, it's going to get a better flavor to the chicken. So we're just going to mix in the salt before we add the chicken. So actually this took about 3 to 4 minutes to soften up. So we're going to add the chicken. Now we're going to mix this in until the chicken gets a white color all around. So while the chicken is cooking, we're going to put 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. You can add more according to your liking. We don't want this rice to be red, we want it to be orange. So 2 is enough. So mix it in with the chicken. So after we got a good color on the chicken, we're going to add about 3 to 4 cups of hot water. We're going to boil the chicken so it can be fully cooked now. No, this is about 5 cups of water. So we're going to cook it. After it's cooked, we're going to remove the chicken. So we're gonna set this on high heat and we're gonna cover it so the chicken can cook faster. So this is going to take about 25 to 30 minutes until the chicken is perfectly cooked. Now, occasionally we're going to need to stir it so that nothing sticks or nothing burns. And just if it looks like you need more water, just go ahead and add. So the chicken, after half an hour, has cooked nicely, and as you can see, the water has reduced significantly. I did add a little bit of water, about a half a cup, 15 minutes into it. So we're going to remove the chicken and put it in a separate container or just something. You're going to want to cover this chicken so it doesn't dry out. So that this chicken doesn't dry, I'm going to keep it in the oven. The oven is turned off. So we're going to wash the rice and then we're going to let it soak in the water for 20 minutes before we add it to the sauce. So we soaked this rice in water for about a half an hour, and the reason we soak it in water is, of course, after washing it, is so that it loses all that starchiness and that weird taste, and then it takes in some of the water so it would cook faster. So this is it. As we can see, we're going to add some water, maybe another 2 cups of water, or until we cover the rice till the top. And I added this lemon ball. If you don't have this, it's okay. It's not really necessary, but it does give this extra tangy flavor. So we added enough water to cover the tip. We'll just add a little bit more. When this simmers, we're going to lower the heat and then we're going to wait for it to steam. Okay, so 20 minutes after, this is what it looks like. Now you don't have to constantly stir it. If you're using a non-stick pot, then it's perfect, and the rice is already oiled, so there's no need to add any more water. That was enough water. So we're gonna lower the heat on this just to give it that extra 5 minutes of steaming, and then we're gonna be ready to serve. Okay, we're going to take the chicken and the pre-made potatoes from before, and we're gonna add it here. The chicken is warm, but we're just going to add it here so it would be heated. We're going to add the potatoes also so that it gets the flavor and the color. We're going to just lightly mix it all in. And then we're going to leave it for the 5 minutes to steam. Okay, so lastly we're going to plate. So all the chicken, we're just going to put it separately so that we can layer it at the top after we finish. So we're going to take the potatoes and rice and everything and then just layer it over here. There we go. We're going to start layering the chicken. There we go. Enjoy.